Today, we're going to talk about why your gut symptoms are getting worse on meat-based diets like carnivore. Welcome everyone to my very humble channel. Let's get into the deep dive of this subject again. Why is your gut getting worse on meat-based diets? It is pretty simple. When you have a dysbiotic gut, which most people do, you've got big holes in the gut wall and the microvilli are broken down or broken off. You have these symptoms, which can run from bloatedness, constipation, loose stool, to skin issues, achy, reproductive issues, tired because so many of you have foamy urine, you're not absorbing protein, you're sore when you work out. So many people are sore, and I'm like, okay, you can eat more protein thinking that you're going to repair the breakdown of muscle, but if your gut is leaking, you are peeing out these proteins, which often makes your urine look a little foamy and sudsy. How are you going to get better if you're eating a carnivore diet and you're having these physical symptoms? Your gut is not used to meat-based. In the beginning, the fire goes down. You're like, oh my God, I feel amazing. My inflammation went down. Then all of a sudden, it comes back. And it comes back in a different way. People don't know how to sort of understand and recognize these symptoms of not having any more fiber in the gut. Now, the crazy thing is, fiber is pretty bad for you. Insoluble fiber and soluble fiber, if you do too much of it. If you do just enough of the prebiotic fiber, and I mean this can be every other day, like a golf ball size, it's just enough to stabilize your already compromised microbiome in your small and large intestine. And the reason why we need to stabilize our gut microbiome is so you don't develop more horrible symptoms like more bloat, more tiredness, more malabsorption. A lot of people are finding themselves being high in B12 or low in iron, or high in iron and low in B12. This is leaky gut. And you can go ahead and eat more meat, and it's not going to fix the gut. There are a lot of moving parts that the gut needs, like you might need some type of colostrum in the future. You might need some type of bacteria, like a small amount of kefir in the future. Not now, because your gut can't handle it. You might need some asparagus, because that's it's a very, very good prebiotic fiber. And I mean small amounts, because the longer you go without eating any of these prebiotic fibers, and then you try to eat them again, you feel bloated. You're like, wait, I didn't feel bloated on these other foods that I feel that I'm bloated on now. Now, this does not happen to everyone, but it happens to a lot of people who go strict carnivore for a very, very long time. Yeah. And if you look at people, you can see that they're struggling. Do not be, it's not just about having muscles, right? It's an overall sense of health and well-being that you can see on people's face. That's the real big, huge sign if you're dehydrated, if you're inflamed, if your blood sugar's all over the place. It's much more than macros. People are always trying to measure their macros in like 1 and 1 and like some mathematical equation, but everyone is so different in terms of their own epigenetics and as well as their gut wall strength. The more leaky gut you have, the more protein you are most likely going to lose. And the more protein you consume, the more protein you lose, and then the more protein waste products end up having to go through the biliary duct system, and then people start developing things like like an ammonia smell or gout or just not feeling well, right? If your B12 is too high, this is so many people who do carnivore and their B12 is high. You don't start eating more red meat and then your B12 goes even higher. You have to address that leaking gut. And sometimes that protein has to go down and the fat has to go up, and the rotation of foods so that the body's getting different bacteria. And because, of course, is it dry hung? Is it wet hung? Do you know where your animals are coming from? Is it grass-fed? Is it pastured? It's not just about eating more protein. And unfortunately, a lot of people who push these diets, they make it sound so simple, and it's not. It just isn't. It takes work and time, a lot of tracking, journaling, and trying to understand what's going on with your existing health. And how somebody else does on a diet has nothing to do with you. Doesn't matter how I do on a diet or anyone else, because their gut and their gut wall integrity is going to be much different than yours. Some people have a weak gluten intolerance, an egg allergy to the egg white, butter. Some people can't do butter. Of course, the whole gallbladder issue. When you're malabsorptive and you're doing a carnivore diet, just eating meat is not going to seal the gut up. It's knowing exactly, I'm going to have ground beef for this many days. Then I'm going to switch it over to lamb or to pork. And then I'm going to journal how my gut feels or how I feel, if I feel inflamed or itchy or whatever comes with that hypoglycemic from protein. Does your blood sugar skyrocket? Adding more protein to someone who's got hypoglycemia just makes it worse. And if your hypoglycemia is out of control, your gut is not going to heal up. It's just not. Because your blood sugars, it's destabilized. And all those things have to come into balance through a lot of work and a lot of experimentation. And for those who stick around, they reach that golden side. They cross that bridge. But unfortunately, too many people will do a carnivore diet to lose weight or to fix their gut real quick, and it can take up to a year. And it's all about how much work you're willing to put in and to question things more often. If somebody's saying that something, if anyone's trying to make something sound easy, run the opposite direction. Because nothing in life is easy. Nothing. Just remember that. By the way, my horrible Lyme's symptoms are slowly going away. So let's see what happens in a couple more days. And if I did have Lyme's, I got a strong immune system. Yeah, good stuff. Comment below. Do you have any of these crazy high B12, high iron, foamy urine, smelling like ammonia, hypoglycemia off of your meat-based diet? Are you more bloated after time? Comment below. Share this content because that's how people find me. And I'm about to go and speak at an event in a couple days, and I will be meeting Sean Baker and Kelly Hogan for the first time. Now, I've spoken to them both privately, but I've never met them. So, and even though they have a completely different ideology from myself, I still respect them as people. Yeah. My website is stephanieperson.com if you need a consultation. I have a subscription-based membership where I cover all 3 diets. So if you cannot do carnivore or keto and you have to do carbs for now because your gallbladder or hypoglycemia, I am almost past all this, neck hurting, everything hurting, and the house is almost done, and I'm going to finish my 30-day challenge, so stay tuned for that. And I'm out. My Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. My Facebook fan page is Stephanie the Business Person. I am 56 and I'm almost 57. Whew, how did that